Arcadia brings a new design language for the workspace. In a world of constant change, the future workplace needs space settings that are stimulating, refreshing, and highly adaptable. Fluid, flexible, and future-proof, Arcadia takes inspiration from timeless architectural forms to provide a new interior landscaping toolkit for the workspace.
The origins were probably hearing from multiple big corporate clients how they need future flexibility and how they need a more welcoming, inviting place to return to in their workspace.
The need for Arcadia stems from the idea of having a more relaxed and fluid environment and settings as we return to work, and something which is extremely agile and can be reset and adapt to different workplace settings.
That led us to start to sketch up some ideas, bring together all those different thoughts, and then we involved Gensler as product design consultants, and that was hugely valuable. They brought a level of architectural thinking on shapes and dimensions and materiality.
Our international design team really came together to help create and review all the different types of design thinking that goes into developing a product like Arcadia. So led from here in London with myself and a few others, working directly with our Paris studio, and even bringing in some design insights from the States as well. This helps create a more universal design language.
So we have this simple kit of 5 parts capable of doing almost anything, and those 5 shapes are the sweep, the inverse, the square arch, the arch, and the corner. To our mantra of California cool, this also references the adoption of European landscapes in California in the Arcadian design period.
Deceptively simple in concept, using just 5 classic geometric building blocks, each piece is engineered for intercompatibility to allow the creation of a vast choice of space makers, from private cloisters to spacious pantheons in almost unlimited combinations.
The idea was that with this simple kit of part, that we offer designers a timeless solution, one that at times can be used more as a backdrop to let their own design features take center stage. But in other instances, product can also be dialed up and used as the hero.
I think at first glance, the shapes seem extremely simple and not too complex, which they're not. There's only 5 essential parts. But to define them, it took a lot of time to actually consider the balance of the geometry with the use cases for them as well.
So we have these two main activations. One is the classical, almost Roman colonnaded form, but then the curious mystique of an ability to create entirely new shapes and nooks and coves, while all the time remaining on a universal architectural grid.
We quickly realized that if we were to keep going and adding different forms and modules, that the designer will get overwhelmed with all the different possible combinations. So that's why those 5 shapes really work and help provide designers with a platform and a toolkit to be creative and create environments that they have conceived and they have not conceived yet.
Arcadia's organic shapes and soft forms have been specifically crafted to be globally familiar, yet not highly directive, allowing instant creation and landscaping of spaces with classic colonnades, porticos, rotundas, and cloisters, all without building walls.
A major part of the concept is the referencing to architectural vernacular and landscape forms. So we can have the smooth and formal lines of a topiary hedge and other kind of classical influences in landscapes and nature, to then the more kind of stronger architectural elements with stronger geometry, such as archways and square arches.
Like anything that appears really simple, there's actually a depth of thought behind this, both from ourselves at Spacestor and from our product design consultants, Gensler.
We went through endless iterations of really honing in on the right 5 shapes and the right curve that we have, the right geometry. There's a really refined view on just what you can get out of 5 shapes and 5 forms to create environments which will meet future demands, which will adapt and change and provide endless possibilities for designers to play with.
The modular kit of parts construction, pure geometric shapes, and patent-pending quick-release joining system means shapes can be reused and reconfigured over and over again to experiment, evolve, or just have fun as we adapt to our ever-changing present.
I think the opportunity for the demand of this product is in that idea that we're looking for more fluid and relaxed forms and landscapes within our workplace.
I think the incredible potential of the product lies in its ability to be freely configured and assembled, to create spaces within spaces.
One of the great benefits of Arcadia is that when you create one space, you actually create a secondary space or a third space at the same time. So you end up with your prime space, it's maybe you're trying to create, and then the relief or the negative space, which creates a nook or a cove on the back of a meeting space. And it just really helps drive different environments and a different way of designing and creating spaces and workplace environments.
All forms are available in 6 shades, carefully chosen from an earthy palette drawing inspiration from minerals and biophilia to complement and blend together references from the natural world.
So when defining the materials palette for Arcadia, we again referenced classical kind of architecture, timeless minerality and materials that we see from nature and different landscape forms to provide perhaps a melange of different types of tones and colours. So we can go from pulling from greens from nature and some blue hues as well, to warm greys which are ever present, to a blush and a burgundy which references perhaps warm terracotta. Colours and tones which we find in nature, you'll find in our palette.
Throughout the design process, we were constantly overcoming complex new challenges not previously faced in the construction of mass-produced furniture for the highly linear office, ensuring curved lines on the upholstery remained sharp and deliberate, as well as creating a non-faceted curve, that was smooth in construction and held its shape when in use, required innovative solutions. Moreover, the design of Arcadia's universal patent-pending quick-release joining mechanism allows subtle but secure connecting of individual parts.
We've got some 3D models, we've got the online configurator and the product itself, and as you build it, it's kind of self-inspiring.
The product opens up incredible possibilities for designers. It can be used as to create freestanding workplace typologies, such as privacy nooks or alcoves. If multiplied in a linear manner, it can create very effective ways of separating different spaces without enclosing those spaces, so visual separation.
As a designer, I'm really excited to see where other designers take this. From our initial studies, we know that you give this to a member of our team and they just have fun and play with it and create unexpected forms that we never conceived. I think it's ultimately just going to be a joy to see how others play and use Arcadia.
Let Arcadia invoke your playful side and experiment on Spacestor's online customizer. Easily configure classical forms for a variety of uses, actualize those visionary shapes you've been dreaming of, or go wild with your imagination and create something no one has made before. Every project and iteration is unique. What will you make? To mark the launch of this unique solution, we're giving away a kit of 3D skill models for hours of design fun and endless play. Free your inner child and register your name on the link in the chat box for a chance to win. Thank you for joining us.